Welcome back to the Guzan Show. I'm your host, Brad Guzan. Sat next to me is Joe Freihofer. And we made it, dude. We are into week 2. We survived. We made it.
2 weeks in, they haven't kicked us off the airways yet, which is a good sign. Thanks to all you guys out there for sending in your messages to Brad as well. Keep on doing that. We'll get to those at the end of the show. We got Guzan Garza, former 5-stripe MLS Cup winner, just a seasoned veteran as well. Played in Mexico for a long time, was in Portugal, Brazil. Great story and a great mentor to all of those young players out there in the game. And speaking of electricity, pub crawl this weekend. Shout out to our entire marketing team, Andrew O'Hara, Trey Mack. They did an incredible job out there. Hundreds of 17s, Brad, coming out for match number 1.
They crushed it. And to see our fans and supporters of the club to show up and listen, we know it wasn't the result that we wanted. 2-0 away to Cincinnati. It's always a tough place to play. But when you look at someone like Thomas Jakob and his performance, I think that alone gives us a lot of hope and a lot of excitement going into the next game, San Jose away, again on the road. Going to be a tough challenge. But listen, it's certainly going to be promising when you've got someone like Thomas Jakob playing the way he did in week 1. So that part for me is going to be exciting and continue to give all of our fans and supporters something to cheer about.
Speaking of electric, Brad, as well, Olympic gold glory for men's and women's hockey. Get on in there, you
Let's
guys.
Go.
Unbelievable. I'd like to give a shout out to defender Layla Edwards. She's the first black woman to win gold in Team USA hockey history. Shout out to Layla as well. And then the men also, Jack Hughes lost his teeth out there from a high stick, but everybody was too busy looking at his gold medal, so it didn't really matter. For scenes.
Absolutely. Listen, the women set the tone going on, winning gold, and then the men followed suit. And to be able to see those images, you know, it was a bit of a flashback for myself, Joe. I don't know if you know this, but I've got some fake teeth of my own. And, looking at that photo of Jack and, brought back those memories for me and maybe not such a positive way. It certainly reminded me of my time when I was in England. I was having some dental work done because of, the hazards of playing goalkeeper. Sure. At a professional level. Sure. A few kicks to the face, couple elbows, all the things. And listen, when they talk about dental history and dental visits in the UK, it's real. I don't advise it, and so that brought me to start to travel back and forth, and I was seeing the dentist in DC, the USA, the team dentist, and I said the flight is certainly worth it if you know. Well, I don't know. You guys be the judge. This is what I'm.
Give him a big smile.
This is what I'm left with, But what it was certainly wasn't as pretty as it is now. But yeah, congratulations to both the men and the women bringing home the gold. Absolute scenes, as you mentioned.
Going to be a thrilling chat today, guys. Guzan Garza, of course, Brad, you spent a lot of time with him here, and of course, ending up in the history books for Atlanta United. One of the busiest men in soccer itself. I mean, he's either at Sweat House, or he's working with the next generation to be great. So excited. What are you excited most to unpack with Greg?
I think when you look at Greg and what he means, not only for Atlanta, but just soccer in general and the landscape. You mentioned the youth that he works with. We know the work that he does, and his ability to give back to the game. I think as players, as former players, you always try to find a way. How do you give back? And he's able to do that daily, and with the work he's doing with the kids, as well as with the league. And I know he's staying busy. And as you mentioned, the Sweat House, I can't wait to ask him a couple questions about some of these photos that he's out there posting about.
When are you getting your Sweat House cameo, by the way?
I think I need to be in the gym a few more times before I start, posing the way he's posing. Deep in thought, but excited to have him on the podcast. It's going to be a great chat.
Well, let's get into it. Atlanta, get ready. World-class soccer, electrifying goals, unforgettable moments. It all happens in Mercedes-Benz Stadium with Atlanta United. Whether you're a day one supporter or new to the beautiful game, this is your chance to be a part of it. Grab your single match tickets and watch the Five Stripes take on the league's best. Want to catch every moment this season? Season ticket memberships start at just $630 with access to every home match and exclusive member benefits, including Apple TV.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Guzan Show. We are joined with our next guest, Mr. Guzan Garza himself. Greg, welcome to the show, man.
Good to be on.
Love
Thanks for having me.
Love it.
Greg, first thoughts here. What kind of timeline do you think we're on? Of course, you guys are now both retired. You come in here and you see this guy's face on an illuminated wall, all brick in here as well. What kind of timeline is this?
Well deserved. Well deserved from this guy. Very proud of him for doing this. And there's no better guy that could be in this spot.
TBD. We're gonna see how the, they tell me first episode went okay. Ratings were okay. But listen, we'll see how it goes. We're excited. All the guys behind the scene, they're crushing it in the studio, and so we appreciate them, and they make us look good. So it's the best of both worlds. But we appreciate you being on, man. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Into retirement. Here I go. What do you got for me, dude? Give me some advice.
You're staying busy. That's the most important thing.
Definitely
Stay
true.
busy. Don't take your time in thinking about things too much. You're staying busy. You're staying within the game. You're involved with the club that you have in your heart, you have in your soul, you have in your blood. No better spot you can be in, man.
For sure. And listen, I know you're just as busy. You've got a lot going on. I know you're still connected to Atlanta United, and I don't know if everyone out there knows, but you're here almost just as much as the rest of us. Tell us about that. Why are you always
I
in and
sneak
around
in
this
every
building?
once in a while, walk around like I own the place. People probably ask, who the heck is this guy?
It's a guaranteed dat past 6
Yep.
p.m. if you're just walking
Yep.
around the office. Hey, there's Greg. Hey, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'll sometimes wait until somebody walks out because my code doesn't work anymore. So just
That happened he was trying to call me on Instagram the other day. I'm like, everything okay? Like, did something happen? He's like, hey, I'm freezing my butt off. Come get me.
Can
Sitting
you open the
outside.
door for me?
Yes.
so I can just sit in the office and steal snacks that everybody doesn't eat.
Hey, love
Yeah.
that. Love that. That's amazing. But yeah, your boy's a part of the academy, right?
Yeah, he's a part-time kid within the U13, so I get to watch from the offices and a little bit away from the parents. Be by myself and watch from a distance. If you ever see former pros at a soccer field, us two at soccer fields at our kids' games, we're usually the furthest ones away, not on the sideline like the psycho parents, we'd say. We are probably usually the furthest ones away, observing, letting them have their time. So that's why I'm here in this space. I get to be in the office, steal snacks, make myself a coffee, do some work, but also still be on the watch.
Love that. Matt, I know you've got a question for Greg.
Yes.
Go for it.
I am one of those soccer dads that sees you guys at the parks. I was actually curious how often the moms and dads approach you guys asking if their kid's good and how much you get approached at the youth soccer field.
I'd say quite often. That's why I'm here up in the offices watching from
He's
far
hiding up
away.
here.
Yeah. I think it's always good to be involved in the space to where, I think all of these kids are our leaders of tomorrow. So helping these parents understand that they're learning valuable tools within the sport that they're playing, whether they're playing here at this level or they're playing at any level at all. The youth sports system is to teach our kids how to be great leaders of tomorrow. So to be a dad in it now and somebody who now runs an organization with Parky to help kids understand those values and with our mentorship program, it's a great way to be still involved in sports.
The one question I always get is, what does my kid have to do to make it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know there is no secret recipe that is going to say, hey, this kid, if you follow these steps, your kid is gonna make it to the next level. And mind you, these kids are 10, and I'm like, there's such a long way to go to see, right? And I always just tell them, enjoy the game, enjoy the process for the good and the bad and everything in between. But I certainly don't have the secret recipe that's gonna say, hey, your kid's gonna make it.
One of my good friends is a director of rec. And every email he sends at the bottom, it just says in capital and in bold, have fun, play soccer. And that's your best message that you can give, right?
I love that. And it's so true, right? Like if you don't love the game, the chances of you probably going on to play at the next level, whatever that next level is, it's going to become really difficult because every day it's going to be such a difficult ask to get up and say, I want to go to practice, or I've got 3 games today, or I've got to travel to this tournament or whatnot. You're not going to want to do it as a kid, and you're going to you're going to hang up the boots before you know it.
Parky and I say it all the time. Do you miss that grind? Now that you've been retired for a few weeks now, do you miss the grind of waking up early and working out and do all these things? You know, you can't have a pizza. You can't have for yourself, you know, maybe some whiskey at the end of the day, whatever it may be, right?
Come on now.
More check these mugs real
yeah,
quick?
I know, right?
More pizza than anything. But I mean, that allowed me, you know, the fact that I knew I was going to go work out and train and put myself through the paces. I was like, oh yeah, I can have a piece of pizza. I can cut a corner here or there. And but yeah, you know, you've mentioned it a couple times, right? Talk to us. Tell everyone about this organization with you and Parky. And listen, guys, we know at some point, Parky, we're going to get you on. All right. You're going to be on the podcast. But tell us about the work that you guys are doing, because I know it's phenomenal.
Yeah, this is something that for us almost started off as a project with the academy. You know, for us, we were very passionate about always staying involved in the community and using our platform for the best way possible throughout our careers. But for us, it was like, man, we were successful pros not because we were great at the game. Because we had the resiliency, we had the confidence, the self-belief, the leadership, the types of personalities that we had were much more elite than just being a God-given talented player. So I think that's what made us successful. You look at, you know, our national team tenure or your success with the national team, you're a great leader on the field. We felt trusted. We felt, you know, you were a reliable player all the time, and that's from your personality. That's not just who you are as a player. It's who you are as a person. So for us, we wanted to create a program to serve as an additional asset of support to parents so they can have a mentorship or a mentor with, you know, within their kids' lives, boy, girl, whether at the collegiate level, professional level. If you're 9, 10 years old, doesn't matter what level you are, but the tools that you're learning from the beautiful game are going to be what are going to shape you as a person and make you successful in anything that you do in life. So it's been awesome. Beyond Goals Mentoring is our mentorship program. We've been doing it now for 4.5 years. We have close to 2,000 kids from all over the United States and world. It's exploded. It's something that has taken over our lives in the most impactful and positive way possible, but just trying to give back to the game that gave so much to us. So an honor to be a part of.
Love
Greg,
that.
I'd like to go a little bit deeper just into your journey as a player as well, because people know a lot about you. Of course, you're a Five Stripes legend, a lot of experience with the USMNT as well. They might have seen you on a Sweat House billboard on the streets here and there as well. In his influencer era, I think production, they did some homework here too, so we can pull a little something up. But you're a busy man. I mean, you just showed my calendar top to bottom. You're always either speaking, giving back to young kids as well. Where does that desire for you come from? Why is it so important to continue to give back?
Yeah, I think how you're bred, right? You know, it's I think leaders are bred. Leaders are not born. You know, you learn from the experiences. I mean, you look at Brad, for example, having Timmy, right, in front of him with the national team. He probably learned so many unique values and leadership values that he could use for the longevity and kind of existence of his career. For us, I think I had great mentors and great people, great parents within my kind of youth upbringing and helping me understand that, hey, if you do have the opportunity to play professionally and using your platform the best way possible. So I think being involved in the community for me has always been something that I've been passionate about. You have the platform to whether it be anything, right? You have players who spread their faith or, you know, are involved in communities to show their leadership roles and qualities. For me, it's, you know, using every opportunity that I can. I now do a lot of work for the league as well and, you know, helping build cultures and kind of building that awareness within the league and serving as a spokesperson, helping the league understand that we have 80 countries represented in this league. We have different languages, you know, different religions, cultures that are represented, and we have to find a way to come together and, you know, play with a unique object in the middle of the field. So, you know, any way and whatever way I can always be involved in those kind of things, helping grow the game. I think that's the most important thing. Whenever you finish, you kind of have to think about, okay, how can I continuously grow this game? I did everything I could to make and kind of squeeze out everything that I could within the game, but you want to make the game better for those who are next behind you. So I think that's my biggest, you know, my biggest goal in life is to continue to be involved in the game with that. I don't want to be a coach. I never want to be a coach. I think it's too
why
much.
did you look this way when you said
right.
that?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Did you see
That's
that?
why. That's why.
You never know.
That's why I'm in here. You know.
You know, it's. I think for me, I look back at it and like, man, I was never able to be at my kids' games during the weekends, and you know, I want to still have that fatherly figure to show them that I support them in the best way possible. And I think sometimes when you're a coach, it takes away from that. You already put so much in being a player, and there's so much stress and anxiety that comes along with it. I feel like it's like amplified times 1,000 whenever you're a coach or assistant coach. Your job is never secure. It's always kind of, something you're dealing with that in that sense. So for me, being involved in what we do and what Parky and myself do, it's still a way to be involved in the game, give back to the community, but still be that kind of dad that I want to be as well for my kids.
Absolutely. You mentioned, the fact that giving back to the community, giving back to the game is huge, right? And you talked about your work with the league. Obviously, you speak how many languages now?
3 languages. I wish I spoke more. Yeah.
And listen, when I go back to and think of our locker room, there's always, you need somebody that's going to be able to connect kind of one language to the next. And I wouldn't say there's cliques within the locker room, but there's certainly groupings, right? Guys feel more comfortable with other players more so than others, and it's just part of it. And I think any locker room you go into, you're always going to have that. But this guy here was always the guy that was the link between all the different groups, English, Spanish, Portuguese. He was able to bring everyone together. And when you talk about locker rooms, when you talk about the ability to help grow an environment, similar to what you're doing with the league, there's no better guy that I could think of that is able to connect and mesh with every single group. And I think that work that you do is phenomenal. It's huge when you have a guy like Greg that can bring those groups together.
Let's unpack that a little bit more too. You have so many cultural inputs. You have a perfect Mexican accent. Your kids call you pai, right? Is that dad in
Portuguese?
Portuguese?
Yeah.
You lived in Brazil.
Yeah.
You lived in Portugal. You used to
Mexico.
spend the morning just drinking a little espresso and reading the Portuguese newspaper. Where does this craving for so many different cultures come from?
That is the beautiful game, right? You look at the locker room right now, there's so many countries that are represented. I can't even name 80 countries off the top of my head, right? I think there's like 185, 186 countries within the world. And we have almost half of them represented within the league that we play in.
Amazing.
So, the opportunities that we're giving to so many different countries around the world to play in the beautiful league that is continuously growing is amazing, right? But you want to be a part of something to where we understand that, okay, these are the rules, these are the norms, these are how our culture is within the States, because we are different than everybody else in the world, right? Our metric system is different. We do everything different, right? So you want to make sure that they are comfortable with where they are and also understand the role modelship that they need to provide for kids that are looking up to them, for the communities that they are in, how they can be involved in the community. So that's a big piece of it as well. I think, once again, it goes back to the platform that you have and being a professional athlete and using your platform for good, and kind of allowing those countries to understand. And, I think I look back at it and it's so funny because the locker room, it was myself, Darlington, Parky, Brad, and then you had Larry, you had Mr. Jeff Larinowitz, like in the middle of all the Latino nation in the middle. And sometimes we just look up and start laughing. Do you see this redhead like in the middle of all the Latino guys speaking Spanish? And you think you have to have people that are going to connect you in terms of different languages. I mean, I'm sure Tata still speaks Spanish on the field. I haven't seen him today within training, but I'm sure he speaks Spanish on the field still today. And if you're not Spanish speaking, you got to learn quickly to kind of adapt to new different coaches and new different environments and surroundings. So for myself in that sense, when 2017, 2018. And when Miggy wanted to say something, or when Joseph got ticked off and wanted to say something, I had to be that kind of moderator, right, and translate for people. And
More
then you
often
had,
than not.
yeah.
More often
And
than
then you
not.
had Parky and Brad come in as great leadership roles and great leadership values that they had to kind of calm down things maybe within training and help us be successful on and off the field. And that's what makes championship teams. So you look back at it, and I'm very grateful to kind of serve my role in that industrial role of working my butt off within the games, but also kind of being that glue within language barriers on and off the field.
I think when you look at locker rooms, right, successful locker rooms, teams that ultimately go on to win and win something, right, and we are fortunate enough to be able to do that. You need guys to understand their roles within the team and not shy away from that responsibility, but embrace it. And I think, especially when I look back at 18, we had a group of guys that certainly did that to the max, right? And whether it was guys that were a huge piece on the field, maybe a smaller piece off the field, everyone played their role, everyone accepted it, and ultimately led to to MLS Cup, right? And that's why we play the game. You play the game to win. You play the game to be able to lift a trophy. What? Give me your top memory from 18, from that championship run.
Top memory was probably in 17, not even 18, but you coming in and getting stitches your very first day in training.
What?
Nobody knows this, right? See, so this is why we have to do this. We have to have banter within these podcasts,
this is why we
right?
need medical staff on the field.
Here we go.
This is
So,
ridiculous.
I don't know if they still do it, but we used to do something called cascarita, right? Which is like coaches also enter the game. Brad playing forward the day before the game, right? Like you just have fun in training. And, goalies playing forward, the assistant coach is playing goalie. You have these set teams throughout the year, whatever it may be. And I think you went up for a header in your very first training. And
No, you're getting the story
oh no,
twisted.
this is this is the tunnel. This is the tunnel.
The tunnel for my birthday.
Yes, the
on
tunnel
my
for your
birthday, I
birthday.
got stitches.
This is where it is. Yeah, but this has got to be one of your
But go
very
back to the
first days.
Cascarita story, because I ended up playing as a field player. I scored 2 goals. It was the middle of summer when I came. It was the day before the game. After the second goal, I went to do a knee slide in the corner of the field. The field was dry at this point. Thought my knee dug into the turf, ripped up a chunk of sod about 3 feet long, did a forward flip. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I just tore my knee. I was like, I was like, this is how it all ends.
That's it. Tunnel eyebrow stitches,
Yes.
and then almost tearing a knee within Cascarita.
Correct. And then luckily knee was okay. Went on to play the next day. It was fine. But that was my last Cascaritas. I said, listen, if I've got to play the next day, I can't be having muscles sore just from playing as an outfield player.
What kind of striker were you, by the way? What were these finishes?
I was a goalie adore. Yeah. I had 2 goals. It was unbelievable.
Right, but I'm saying, did you chest them down? A half volley?
I mean,
I can't recall that, but he
correct.
was
Correct. All I know is the ball hit the back of the net twice.
Yes.
But then birthday tunnel. Go ahead. You tell it.
Birthday time. I don't even know who it was. You were getting
I don't
water
know
bottles.
either.
You were getting water
Nobody
bottles.
wanted to own up to it
balls
afterwards
thrown
because I
at
was
you.
raging.
Is this a podcast safe production? We go with this
It
one
is.
here?
I was raging
just-
We okay
afterwards.
with this, fellas?
Epitomizes who he is as a leader and as a player, but it's just like stitches on the spot. Continued to train.
You go through a tunnel, everyone squirts water. It's for your birthday. You go through the tunnel, everyone kind of slaps you on the back of the head. Well, slaps turned into full-on punches, kicks, the works. And next thing you know, I come out and I'm like, oh my gosh, the back of my head, that hurts. And I had my gloves on. I was like, what's my glove? And the palm of my glove's all bloody. And I'm like, what is going on here? Trainer at the time, Mario, he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, get over here. I was like, what? He's like, it's bad. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're going to need some stitches. Put a couple stitches in there and put a Band-Aid and
Back at it.
wrap around my head. Finished training, but I was absolutely raging. I was fuming. I mean, the steam was coming out of my ears. I'm thinking, who the hell has just gone and absolutely leveled me in the back of my head?
You internalize that because your leadership.
You're not reaching the back of my head, so it's all right.
That's very true, right?
Too
His
short.
leadership and just his positive, holding everybody accountable. I think that's what he's known for. I say one thing that I always remember is any friend or any, parental figure or anybody who is in my family, any family member who has ever come to watch a game, friends, anyone who comes to watch a game, still to this day, not anymore, but would always ask me, why the heck do they boo your goalkeeper in the second minute of the game? Everyone. It's got to be something that everybody, if you've never been to an Atlanta United game before, everybody always asks that, right?
For sure. I've gotten that numerous times. And sometimes I go with it, and it's just like, yeah, listen, they don't like me. It's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd. Other times I tell them, hey, it's the name of the podcast.
There you go. I love it.
Lucked out in that sense, but yeah, it's good times. When you look back on those teams, it's pretty amazing. And you look at someone like Tata. How excited are you for him to be back here with Atlanta United, back leading the charge, leading the team? What's your impression there?
Yeah, I think we've always touched base on what Tata means, right? Just the Tata is grandfather in Spanish, right? And I think that's probably most likely, I mean, myself, maybe a lot of us in that era, that's how we viewed him. I kind of viewed him as that older, grandpa figure who you have an immense amount of respect for. Somebody who is very observant, somebody who kind of talks when talk is needed. Not all the time. He has his people who he trusts, who run training and allow them to kind of do everything. But someone that when he does speak, you respect. And, we look back in the day, I think there were times where we were training and Brad was probably having more touches than he ever had in his whole entire English Premier League career. On the back line. Evolution of goalkeeper. Where somebody
came about here in 2017 when I joined Atlanta United.
Ever used his hands before in his whole entire career, and all of a sudden he's using his feet more than he's using his hands. And there were probably some things he was probably saying, what the hell am I doing? What the hell did I just do? Sign this contract and playing with my feet more than my hands. And then we would do things in the game and it would work. And I think that's, sometimes that kind of, we called it like a lunatic mentality with Tata. And I think that's something that he brings back. Just watching training today, the excitement of just what training was in the few minutes that I had the opportunity to watch training today. That's what he brings to the table. And are there going to be some wild results this year? Who knows? That's the MLS that we play in. There's always wild results. But I think that excitement of what he brings and that attacking-minded, just go for it, go forward, all in, right back, left back. I mean, you look at the first goal in Bobby Dodd. I think I was the one that set the pick on Sal Zizzo in the 6-yard box. So give me a Lasai.
I think he knows for sure. He's got that on. He's got that on a loop.
Can we cue that up real quick just to make sure?
Yeah. So it's just those kind of things right there. I think he brings to the table, and that's something that from a fan now over the last 4 years since I've been retired. I think I'm excited to see as well on the field that kind of energy that's really kind of flows through the stadium. So we definitely need that back again, and I think I can't wait till the very first home opener.
It gives you that confidence as a player. You talk about that grandfather figure. He gives you that confidence to try things on the field, to believe in yourself. Listen, I remember when I came, my right leg was used for standing and standing only. And then all of a sudden it's, play a pass here, clip it over the winger's head. And I'm thinking, that's not going to come off. And then it comes off and you're thinking, maybe he's onto something here. Maybe I can do this. And he's given you that confidence to go and play. And, you talk about his, almost, as the kids say, his aura, right? And I remember the U.S. played Mexico. And I remember I wasn't involved, and I went down and I saw his staff afterwards, and I saw him, and the language, again, certainly a bit of an issue, but the love and the care and the passion that he had, and you see him, and, ever since, you have that moment here in Atlanta United, and then you'd see these guys on our different soccer journeys over the years, and it was always the warm embrace, it was the love, and those are moments that we'll cherish forever, because we're forever tied to, the success of 17, 18 and him leading us and us being a part of it. And so when you have that, it's something special, and it's never lost, at least on me, it's never lost all the work and dedication that goes into all the sacrifices that go into a season like that to then come out as a champion. And you never take that for granted, because you realize how difficult it is to actually be the last one standing at the end of a season.
Real quick before, I know we've got some queued up for Greg here, but I wanted to touch on both of you guys, of course. Chivas USA ties, Cholos, spent a lot of time in Mexico even to this day, still as well. Can we focus on the part of football that nobody gets to see? What's the craziest thing that somebody's either said to you that you can say enough of on this podcast, or didn't you say you had a penny thrown at you during a preseason or something? There's some antics in the stands in South American football that is different. Is there anything that just sticks out to you?
He's probably got worse than me. I mean, I've had lighters, pennies, things like that, but I'm sure he's...
It's really funny. We had a tournament with the under-17 national team. I was 15 years old in Argentina, in San Luis, all right? And we played Argentina in the final. We had made it to the final. And I just remember being a 15-year-old average American kid. I had already lived in Brazil for a little bit, so I kind of understood that South American mentality. I played Copa Libertadores as well with Tijuana, so you have that, what happens in South America kind of stays in South America in terms of Libertadores. It's different than the Champions League. We take our chef everywhere we went. Sometimes lights would be turned off in the stadium the day before the game when you're training on the field. You never know what's going to happen. But I remember being a 15-year-old kid in Argentina and having bags of certain things thrown at ourselves when we were in through the walkout. And these are bags of, let's just say, certain things within this tied bag that they were throwing at us as a 15-year-old kid, right? That's probably the craziest thing I can remember as like a youth player, having bags of something thrown at you before the game as a 15-year-old kid. And I think that kind of like okay, this is going to be my life. I'm going to have the opportunity to do this. But I think you embrace it, right? Like you embrace those opportunities. You embrace, I don't cherish those things, but I definitely embraced it. And it's like, okay, this is what it means to be a pro. This is what it means. These things are going to happen. You're going to have to deal with the criticism. You're going to have to deal with certain things said to you on the field. As long as there's no discrimination within it, I'm all for it. The trash talk, man. Like, let's go. I think one of the funniest things is for most guys, I think, who played against me or maybe even against you too, most guys after after we retire and we go see them or I meet them now during doing things with the league, they'll be like, man, I thought you were the biggest a-hole on the field, man. You're actually a pretty nice guy, man. And I'll be like, yeah, I just turned into a monster. It's, you kind of have this personality change when you're on the field because you want to win so bad. But I think all of us are friends off the field, and that's the beauty of it. And you're saying the connections that you always have with coaches and even just players. I think now recently retiree for you is, I think that's what I miss the most. And if that's probably what all of us will say. I miss those connections. Yeah. I miss that camaraderie. I miss that banter within the locker room. You live somewhat of a lonely life whenever you retire, but you need to find those relationships, those connections. And whenever you do get to see that, I think that's why I'm still so involved with the game.
You're not having that banter on the side of a youth soccer game on the
Doesn't hit the
sidelines.
same.
Yeah, it's not the same as locker room talk, as they say. Well, Greg, listen, man, we appreciate you joining us. But before we go, we've got a little something for you and the rest of our viewers. And listen, I don't really know my thoughts on these.
Is it hot in here, Brad?
Is it getting a little steamy in here? It's a little bit. I think.
Should I take this
he's
off?
potentially headed somewhere else after the podcast for a bit of a recovery session.
I was there yesterday.
But if we could just turn our attention to the monitor, I think our guys in the studio. Oh my goodness!
It's gonna make me turn red.
Talk us through some of these photos.
These are great. These are just showing my tattoos of my life, my story, right?
I mean, are you sleeping on that bed?
I was in there for like 3 seconds for that picture. That was it. I didn't even get to use the darn thing to recover that day. That's a great way to still. I mean, for me, I'm still so active. I run every day. It's my escape. I run the first thing when I wake up. I work out every day. I'm sure you're going to be the same.
Same.
You got to have your escape, and so recovery is still essential for me. So. My friends at Sweat House, they hook it up, man. I'm very grateful to be part of it.
Clearly, if you're posting pictures like that. So I appreciate it, man. Joe, I know you appreciate it. Greg, always a pleasure seeing you, man. Always great to catch up. And, thanks again.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks, Greg. Sweet.
Well, Joe, we made it through episode 2.
Learned a bit of Portuguese, learned how to say bye. Irmão. That probably sounds horrible, but shout out to Greg. No, great guy. The part about baggies being thrown at him at 15 years old, too. Like, the stuff you guys have been through. That's what the people want to hear about.
That's going to make you grow up real quick. You're at 15. You're thinking, I'm just here to play soccer, and
all of a sudden,
it's a new little cultural experience to go outside of the borders of the U.S. and represent your country and go through that experience. It's going to teach you a thing or two.
2 episodes into the pod, how are you feeling? How's the hosting thing going for you? You're smashing it, by the way.
Well, I don't know about that, but I feel good. Listen, you have been tremendous, so I can't thank you enough. Our folks in the control room, they have made us look and sound great, so thank you very much. Who else we got back there?
Speaking of, you see that head of hair just over the top of the computer right there?
New team member, let's go.
Welcome in, Cam. We're thrilled to have you. Good stuff. UF alum as well. She played footy there from 2019 to 23. Did I get that correct? You see the Gators?
Go Gators. Go Gators.
I will let you know that of all of us right here, the best soccer player is in this room, not that room.
Hey, I believe it.
Cam is a legend soccer player.
Did you not hear?
NASA Top Hat legend, University of Florida legend.
Let's go.
Sorry, but the all-time appearances leader for Atlanta United was talking about the goals he was scoring with Greg in training today. At striker. Did you hear that?
Doesn't stand up to Cam's performance.
No. You got nothing on the
Gators. Gators for life.
The legend of Cam.
I have seen Cam play staff soccer at B League. I'm not good enough for I have negative touch.
B League?
Yeah, I'm a B League hooper. Ooh. That's as far as I'll get. She is techie. For everybody at home, she's approved.
I'm still being recruited. I'm being recruited, whether B League, A League. I've not made up my mind yet.
I was going to ask you, that is one thing we talked last week about life on the staff side. You know, there is staff soccer. There's an A League, a B League. Have you been recruited yet?
I have. And listen, people are putting their case forward. I'm speaking it over with my agent, and, you know, we're going to have some conversations internally, and then I'm going to get back and make a decision at some point. I'm excited.
Guys, we have got a laundry list of fan mail in here for the show. Brad, you ready?
Let's do it.
Question for Goo. This first one's coming from Ken Hoadley. Ken would like to ask you, Brad, as we all know, the World Cup is coming up soon. We all may have some general understanding of how the USMNT will start under Pochettino, but not all positions are locked in just yet. He says, imagine you're Pochettino and the World Cup starts tomorrow. Could you name your ideal USMNT starting 11 in the World Cup? Feel free to add the bench if you'd like. There's a lot of factors still about that team.
There's a lot of factors. And to be honest, I don't think I could name my starting 11 today, only because I've been down this path, and there are going to be players that are added to this team that are going to be impactful players probably a week before Pochettino makes his decision. Yeah. And so we've got two massive games coming up here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the U.S., first against Belgium, then against Portugal. Those two games are going to be massive tests for the players, for the staff, and I think they're going to tell us a lot. They're going to tell us a lot of what Pochettino's thinking. They're going to tell us a lot in terms of where the players are at, and they're going to be tough tests. Those are two World Cup teams that are potentially going to be looked at as favorites and have the potential to go on and advance to a semifinal, into a final potentially. And so those games are going to tell us a lot. And so I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to give an 11 now, let alone a bench, because I think there's still going to be roster decisions that are up in the air. You're going to have players that are in form, players that maybe lose form. You're hoping not, but there's potential for injury, right? And so there's going to be changes that happen along the way. But I think that is going to that window in March is going to tell us a lot.
For everybody at home, do you think we could see some USMNT members on the show? Maybe somebody from the Federation.
That would be
exciting.
Can you
give them a little nugget?
That would be exciting. Listen, I'm making some calls, sending out some texts. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some guys in here into the Guzan show. We know they're going to be training here, and so hopefully they can pop inside the beautiful studio here and sit down for a chat.
Selfishly as well, I think for everybody in just the Atlanta area to be able to see Cristiano Ronaldo hit a possible Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What do you mean?
Just after a 3-2.
Okay.
Controlling the lead. You're seeing it into 90. Maybe it's 3-1. He just tucks it in, just a squeaking ball out towards back post. But we've got a lot more messages, Brad. Another one comes from Nicolas Dunbar. He says, great first show. He says, he's big, he's tall, and he can friggin' do it all. Brad Guzan, congrats, brother. Faithful 17, Nick D here in Texas. Then we've got another really long one. It says, hi, Mr. Guzan. My name is Kennedy DeBoyan. I know this is a long shot, but I have a video idea for a while that I think would be a blast to make and be good for great Atlanta United fan content. The concept would be shot in the style of an office-type sitcom. Oh, here we go. Similar to the Eli Manning, Chad Powers video. You'd show up and play in an adult Sunday league in maybe Forsyth County. Wow, county shot on there as well. Where I captain in a team. Oh, I see where they're going with this. Disguised with a wig and maybe a light accent if you're feeling it. Hey, we're in luck. We were just trying some accents today as well. Can you give them a bit of skulls of it?
Come on now. Keep reading, Joe.
The idea is that it's just a random guy joining the team. Everyone obviously knows it's you, but you're trying to play it off. It'd be fun, lighthearted project that creates a great piece of content for Atlanta United fans. It would also be something really cool for the local league I've been a part of for the past 5 years and players who are huge supporters of you and ATL. If you'd even consider it, shoot over a reply and we can discuss it more on your terms. If it's not something you're interested in, I completely understand. I just had to shoot my shot. Thanks for your time, Mr. Guzan.
I love it. And listen, I'm all down for it. And so much so that we've done it before, Joe.
It's been done.
We've been down this path. We've been down this road. We did it last year. Ended up going out to a school to surprise some kids. Put on the wig, put on the glasses. I think I had a fake beard or a mustache. Yeah, I think it was a mustache. And Yeah, I mean, listen, they were excited. They were excited. The hair was certainly a talking point, a little itchy, but I think I pulled it off all right. And yeah, so I appreciate all of the messages of support. I appreciate the ideas, the content ideas. I know our content team is super excited about what we're able to do with this podcast going forward. Yeah, keep them coming in, and thank you guys for all tuning in. And we're 1 week closer to that home opener. How are we feeling?
Fantastic. Yeah, I think the thing that everybody wants most is just to see the 17s piling in once again, to feel that fan base. We've seen their presence over at Pub Crawl was remarkable. I think there's such a craving to see what the real template of Tata Ball is going to be like this season. And you can just feel it with the guys, too. We just had a piece with Tomas Jacob the other day. He says he wants to leave his life out there for Tata every time he takes to the pitch. So that's all coming here in the 404 very soon.
I love the dedication, love the passion. We've got it in studio. We've got it on the field. On to the next one.